Hello everybody, I am PsyStarcraft and welcome to another StarCraft 2 commentary. Today we have a Zerg versus Terran with myself, vilePsY, in the right as the red Zerg, and my opponent LMntStallion in the left as the blue Terran. This is Antigua Shipyard. I don't know if I already said that. Everything just kind of blends together when you're casting. You don't even realize what you're saying. You just kind of get into the flow experience. But as Zerg versus Terran, I really do like this map because the choke to your main is pretty small. You can block with 3 or 4 roaches. Actually, it's a little bit bigger than normal. You'd actually need 2 queens, I think, to block Hellion. So that could be kind of annoying. Every Terran likes to open up with that reactor Hellion build into an expansion and a bunch of stuff like that. So we'll see if LMntStallion decides to do that. I'm probably just going to be calling him Stallion this game. But the real reason I like this map is because of the easily accessed third for a Zerg player. And if I choose to go mutas, the Terran player is probably going to expand to the third here, and that'll be pretty good because it gives my mutas nice, easy access to the third without having to cross over lots of turrets from the Terran's main or anything like that. And yeah, we are seeing the refinery first, and that usually means it's going to be barracks, and then once the barracks finishes, you'll have 100 gas to build a factory. So we'll see if he does go that route. Myself, I am going for a 15 hatch, as you can see here, now sending the drone down. Now, with Protoss, I have a very solid opener, and I'm very confident with it. It's well-versed and just kind of dancing that drone around. Having some fun, I guess. It's very balanced. Against Terran, I don't really know the best strategy. I mean, mutiling, baneling is the most common strategy, but it seems like that just kind of falls short now that Terran players are actually learning how to play the game, and it doesn't help that they have the best race ever. Jeez, Terran. Well, in America anyway, in the North American server. But it's tough, man. Hellions just give them such great map control. They can do whatever the hell they want. It's very difficult to scout a Terran player. Oftentimes you have to rely on this overlord to float in and see what's going on, and you can see I have rallied him behind the Terran base, so eventually he will be able to scout. And he's actually got a lot of gas, 140 gas. He's going to be able to build a factory and a reactor. It looks like he's not going to be going for that reactor right away. I'm kind of curious to see what he's doing. Where is that factory? There's the factory. There it is. And 1 Marine, possibly to prevent any lings or overlords from floating in, stuff like that. But the spawning pool is going down as well as the geyser. This is going to be a high mineral eco build. The speed isn't going to be done the fastest in the world, but it'll get there eventually. There's the reactor creating a nice little wall off. And I'm pretty sure this is a full wall. Yeah, this must be a full wall. And, you know, you don't have to build the reactor right away after the factory. And Stallion knows that. First of all, the factory takes 10 seconds longer than the reactor to train. And second, you know, it takes about 5 seconds to lift up the factory, float it over to the position where it wants to land, and actually land it. So we're going to see that here in a second. It actually looks like they might finish at about the same time. So we won't be seeing how long it really takes for the factory to lift up and go over there. But nicely timed by Stallion. Obviously a pretty solid Terran player. Because he knows how to build a reactor and Hellions, I am getting 1 spine because this is around the time when Hellions will start coming out of a factory, and the 2 queens are on the way as well. Only producing 4 lings. Still going to do some scouting. I did not send a drone scout. You know, scouting with drones is kind of it's kind of losing its appeal. A lot of players like having that extra drone just for harvesting. And you know, when you scout with the drone against a Terran, what are you going to see? You're going to see a Terran most likely 2-raxing or going factory. And I feel like you know, it's going to happen either way, no matter what. And any scouting information I get isn't going to necessarily change what I do. Evolution Chamber is on the way, and that's because I wanted to try a ling build, a ling heavy build. But I don't really know what he's doing right now. I guess that's one advantage to scouting, is I would not have gotten this evolution chamber. But anyway, 2 Hellions on the way. I'm trying to act like I know what I'm talking about, but I kind of don't. 2 Hellions on the way, just a single spine, and the Rocheborn is going to be late. So once these other 2 Hellions get up in there, it could be kind of dangerous. That Marine almost able to take out a ling. I do know what he's doing, although I already saw these Hellions, so that wasn't a huge concern. And I should really consider throwing down another spine here, maybe getting another queen to try to block this ramp, because 4 Hellions this early in the game is so dangerous. Here he comes. Oh my gosh, so many Hellions. My drones are running away. They have the refuge of the spine, but he can just run up into the main. Oh, where are you going, drones? Yes, he is just going to run up to the main. No ling speed yet. 8 lings on the way. Not a single roach either. And oh, this could be disastrous. I'm at 29 to 24 harvesters. Roach Warren just now completing. 1 Hellion goes down, but these 2 are just toasting up all the drones. I tried to split them. Not the best split in the world, but I am preventing a lot of these drones from dying. And, ooh, nice Hellion Blast right there, taking out some Lings and finishing the remaining Lings. Hellions are so good, man. These drones need to get back to mining, get the hell out of there. And, oh, are these two Hellions going to get any more drone kills? Oh, my goodness. So many drone kills. And that's where you learn your lesson to, actually, at least I'm going to see this Banshee. He already has a Banshee out, doesn't have Cloak. 2 command centers on the way following this up, so a Hellion harass into a Banshee harass into double command center. He's actually killed 12 workers, and I've only managed to kill 1 SCV. I do have a couple Queens, though, and the Evolution Chamber already exists, so at least I'll have some spores, but so much harassment going down from Stallion here. Not looking too good. Not choosing to get Cloak. Looks like he's just going to keep on pumping out the Banshees. No lair to be found. And the Harvesters are now 21 to 28. So great harass from Stallion. Again, my ZVT is a little bit rusty. And that I didn't have that Queen blocking the ramp. I didn't have Roaches in time. Maybe another Spine would have prevented all that damage. But I am so far behind as of now. 21 to 29. He's got the double command center coming up. He's still making Banshees. And the Banshee Hellion, it really gives him amazing map control, and that's really the most frustrating thing. It's not that he's going to send in the Banshees and Hellions and harass or kill drones or stuff like that, even though he did this game, but it's really the map control. I can't move out. I don't feel comfortable taking a third. These Lings are just going to run in and die, so that was kind of silly. Losing every single Ling there. Not something you want to happen. I mean, it doesn't look too detrimental on the surface. Oh, you just lost a couple Lings. Lings are cheap, but now I don't have any map control. I just have one single Ling in the middle. It would have been nice to have some Lings out here, maybe just one Ling, but I just ran in there carelessly, possibly a bit frustrated from the damage the Hellions did to me. So a lot of catching up to do here, especially since we're even on Harvesters, yet he has a third base coming already. Probably going to make that into an Orbital, I would imagine. It's pretty easy to defend with as a Terran. You can just kind of move right up here and you'll be good. But we'll see. Here's some Hellions and Banshees moving out. He might try for a little attack here. I do need some anti-air, but not enough of it exists right now. Only have 3 Queens, 4th Queen on the way, I believe. Now I just have 3 Queens. Okay, that was the 3rd Queen on the way. And he's just going to control the middle of the map. And this is really hard to deal with. If you don't have mutas, you can't really do anything against this. He actually has a Raven, too. That's pretty interesting. Possibly trying to spend some of that gas, realizing Banshees will eventually lose their effectiveness, and a Viking as well. Spire now on the way. 4 Hellions moving up, but these Roaches will face those Hellions just fine. 3 Banshees, a lot of Banshees, and you know, something about Terran players is that you don't really expect him to keep making Banshees. You think, okay, 1 or 2 Banshees, I killed 1 or whatever, he's not going to make any more, but when they do make more, it's actually pretty good. Like, Zerg players don't really know how to respond to that. Just get a bunch of Queens or try to rush to mute attack, it's hard to say. But the Spire is on the way. Stallion getting his turrets. He's got 2 turrets going up. One in his... Actually, both of them in his main, probably. Yeah, both of his turrets in the main. Feeling pretty safe, like I won't fly around and try to harass this expansion. But what do we got here? We got 46 to 47. He's still ahead in the harvest count. He's got 3 bases, and he actually did make a planetary fortress, which is a bit unusual. It seems like if there's a base and map where you want to take an orbital command, it would be this one. But what do I know? I'm not a Terran player. I just know that planetary fortresses and orbital commands are both very, very good. Overseer out on the field, Spire almost finishing. And let's see what Stallion's choosing to go. He's actually going for +1 armor and 3 factories. And when you see +1 armor on in a replay or wherever, you kind of know that they're going to be going Thors, because it really benefits them way more than Siege Tanks and way more than Hellions. This Overseer's like, I just like getting shot in the ass. It feels so darn good. Have you ever noticed the Overseer has like tons of eyeballs all over his body? I never really noticed that. I guess he has 4 of them, right? Yeah, he's got like 4 eyeballs, and he's got 2 like little eyebrow things, spotter things. Don't know what the hell those are. But finally taking a 3rd base now that my mutas are coming out. And the reason this 3rd base is so slow, one is because I didn't have map control. Because, you know, he's got the Banshees and Hellions all over the map. I didn't know if he still had the middle. Lings just wouldn't really give me the map control I need. 2, the mutas were late, and that has to do with the map control thing. You know, it's hard to expand against Hellion Banshee if you don't have mutas to cover your ass. And 3, he killed so many drones in the beginning. It slowed me down quite a bit. I would have liked to take my 3rd a lot sooner. 13 minutes is a very slow 3rd. But it just didn't happen. 1 Thor with that Collector's Edition armor on there. That's pretty sweet. Is going to shoo these mutas away. I was able to kill maybe 1 or 2 SCVs. Looks like just 1 SCV. And this game is just not going my way. Not able to kill a whole lot there. And I do realize he's going the mech route. So with my evolution chamber, I'm going to be getting roach attack as well as roach speed. So I'm going to be going for the mass roach against the mech play. Not the best thing against mech. I mean, mech's actually really tough, and this guy got a great opening. And so he's in great shape to do a lot of damage with this mech. I'm going to try to poke away at this third. I have scouted it, but he's got a turret and a Thor just kind of chilling there. And that's not going to happen. This is just not going to happen. Oh, nice blast from the Thor, killing a Muta and damaging every single other one. Lots of excess queens. Pooping out that creep. Just stockpiling the Thors. There comes the transfer. The unit count's not looking too good. 13 Mutas and 6 Roaches against a ton of Thors. 6 Thors, some Banshees, a Raven, some Marines, and finally, with the third base coming up, 71 to 73. But you always want to be one base ahead of your opponent, and this hatchery does not count as a base. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, you little guy swimming around in there. You're not an extra base. You're just a useless macro hatch. Silly macro hatch. So Mr. Stallion here, continuing with the mech play. Game has calmed down a little bit. I'm continuing to pump Mutas. 9 more drones on the way. It's going to put me at 82 harvesters on 3 bases. Need to think about getting a 4th base, a 5th base. And, you know, it's funny because mech early game allows for tons of map control with the Hellions. But then mech late game has very little map control with tanks, with Thors, stuff like that. And he actually is going to move out. He's getting his +2 armor, perhaps waiting for that timing to move out. And there it is. Muta's still just kind of flying around trying to find something to kill. Looks like he wants to take the gold. These SCVs are going to be a little bit caught off guard, and this is what I mean by no map control. These Thors are so slow. It's going to take them forever to get over here. Hellions moving out a bit too far in front, taking out 1 Banshee, 2 Banshees, almost a 3rd Banshee, but a couple more Hellions going down. Need to be careful with these Mutas. Get out of there. Mutas losing a few more Mutas than I would have liked. But I was able to do a little bit of damage, deny this third for just a second at least. Now landing that command center. And he's just going to macro up. And this is the most frustrating thing as a Zerg. You really want your opponent to just do timing attacks against you and throw their armies away and defend accordingly. But when a Terran player is just going to expand like this and kind of turtle up, it's pretty frustrating because you're not really looking to jump to that T3 super fast. And it's really hard to assault positions with anything of the Zerg except Broodlords. But Thors with +2 armor against Broodlords with no upgrades for their Broodlings are so good. A lot of Roaches are out though. They had the +2 attack, +1 armor on the way, as well as Banelings, Baneling Nest, and Baneling Speed. These SCVs looks like they want to expand to a 5th base, but that's not really going to happen. I do have control of the middle. That's something that's going for me. And there goes the scan. All these SCVs are probably going to go down. Might even kill the supply depot, or the command center. These Roaches now engaging on these Hellions. Hellions not doing much to the Roaches anyway, so it's not a big deal that he's losing them. But he is able to take the high ground. And in come the Roaches. I don't know if this is a good idea. The +2 armor on the Thors is going to be so good. And I'm just trying to attack move and focus down the Thors. Muta's now running in, soaking up a little bit of that Thor fire. They go down so darn fast, so a couple auto turrets being planted by the Shraven. But these Roaches just aren't going to be enough. It's going to be close. No, they are not going to clean up the Thors. SCV is now moving up to repair this Thor, saving that guy. And 36 more Roaches on the way. Thors are so good, man. It's difficult to deal with them without T3. A lot of Zerg players claim that you can take out mech with Banelings, but it's pretty tough to say. I don't know. I've never actually tried that. He actually has a couple ghosts as well, so if I do eventually go the Broodlord or Ultralisk route, that's going to be pretty bad. Snipes going down on these Roaches. He's got 3 ghosts. He's got some more snipes left. Maybe needs to throw down an EMP on those Queens, transfusing up a lot of those Roaches. And it looks like these Thors might just get cleaned up. 10 more Roaches on the way. Harvest count now 71 to 63. He lost a few Harvesters to my Mutas earlier. And yes, this Thor brigade will get cleaned up. But 3 more on the way, as well as Ghost. He did quite a bit of damage, you know, forcing me to, or actually killing all my Harvesters at the gold base. And now this Banshee's actually just shooting away. 18 more Harvesters on the way. Oh my god. And this is a textbook example of not checking your Harvesters. I thought I was a lot lower than 91, man. And you gotta, when you switch to your bases, you gotta select your Harvesters. Select your Harvesters. Select your Harvesters. You gotta keep track of how many you have at what times, trying to do something to this planetary, but it's not really gonna happen. And still, 4 base to 4 base. If we check out the units lost, he's actually lost more than me, but you gotta remember, his economy is a lot better than mine too, so I can't afford to lose a whole lot. You know, I need to afford, I don't even know what I'm saying. Don't even know what I'm saying. I want to be a lot further ahead in units lost, considering how much better his economy is what I'm trying to say. So this base is just being dropped over and over with mules. My money is stockpiling. I probably need to take in a couple extra bases. Again, your opponent, when he goes mech, he does not have good map control. So you want to take bases. You want to take a lot of bases, force his army out of positions, maybe at least, you know, force him to send his Hellions away. But this is kind of the composition that's very dangerous. He's getting +3 armor, but mech ghost is so hard to beat. Broodlords don't really do it. I suppose Banelings might do it if he clumps his Thors right, and you can just land right in the middle of all these Thors. Ultras obviously don't do it. Snipe and Thors, lol, just own Ultras. So it's really difficult. I'm trying the Roach route, and hopefully it works this game. A lot of money stockpiled up. And if I have one thing going for myself, is that he doesn't have a lot of money to reinforce. So this is a very expensive build he's using with the Banshee, Thors, and oh, the Banelings crashing into the Planetary Fortress. Yes, they are going to take it out. But I don't know if that's really what you want at this point in the game. That Planetary wasn't that important. You need to kill the Terran's army. But no, I just crashed into the Planetary, do very minimal damage to these Thors, who are almost +3 attack. He's actually getting the armor upgrade for his buildings as well. That's really cool. I like seeing Terran players get those kinds of upgrades. Just now putting on the gas, putting my guys on the gas, so a bit lackluster in controlling my harvesters at the gold base. And look at all this oversaturation here, man. I need an extra base, and I need to not produce a whole bunch of drones because I'm at 75 after losing all those drones, which is a pretty good number. But here comes the slow push from Stallion. He's got a couple Vikings to support the Thors and taking out any Broodlords. He's got a couple Ghosts to EMP any Infestors, snipe some Broodlords, Ultras, whatever might come out. And at this point, you pretty much realize that Mass Roach just isn't going to cut it against this composition. And it's really difficult to deal with a Terran player who gets at this point. But when I was playing this game, I was actually getting really frustrated because, one, my money is so damn high and all my Overlords died. And two, it's just so hard to beat this. It's like, I'm just going to make 2 units, Thors and Ghosts, and it's so difficult to beat. I mean, yes, I'm only going Roaches, and I am being kind of a hypocrite in that regard, but, you know, I didn't feel like I played awful except the opening. There are a couple Broodlords out here. Now this Queen can stand to transfuse one of those Broodlords. Transfuse it, you lazy bitch! No, it's not going to happen. There's one transfuse going down on the Broodlords, but despite these Broodlings soaking up a lot of damage, the Roaches just aren't going to get it done. Possibly Roach Broodlord might be an okay counter. The thing about Broodlords is, with Thor's 4 armor, the Broodlings are doing pretty much no damage. Like, if we pause it and say their attack, they're doing a half a damage to the Thors every attack. So they're going to be used more as meat shields and for that initial blow. So a nicely played game by Stallion here. You can tell these rallied Roaches just aren't going to cut it. I was able to spend a lot of the money, though, so that's good. But very cool 4-base, 5-base mech play. He was able to exploit my early poor defense. I didn't handle those Hellions or the Banshees very well, and that just kind of snowballed into what you're seeing now. So I was a lot more frustrated while I was playing the game, but after going over this replay, you kind of realized you didn't play so great, and you know, you could have done a lot more to try to win the game. But we are going to see this ending just in a second here. I leave the game. Man, I'm so BM. I'm sorry, guys. Like, I'm supposed to be a role model and stuff, and I never GG people just because I get so frustrated losing games. I mean, I know everybody gets frustrated, but I guess I just want to apologize for never GGing. I'm kind of a dick. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I felt really helpless here, and that was just some great, solid Terran play. Not getting over eager with his attacking. Actually taking a 4th base before he did anything whatsoever. And it seemed to pay off. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. As always, GG. Thanks for watching.